Hello, FAPSET students. We're going to start working on slide 6, and we're going to create a scatter plot, putting Rotten Tomatoes score on the x-axis and gross income on the y-axis. We're going to find the regression line, the coefficient of correlation, coefficient of determination, describe correlation type and strength, and determine how well the regression line matches the data. So let's start by looking at our data. So we want to have Rotten Tomatoes on the X and gross on the Y. So I'm going to copy the gross over to the Y after the Rotten Tomatoes. And then we need to eliminate the formatting. So once you have your column highlighted, you can go to Data and, sorry, it's Format. And we need to go to Number. And under Number, I have a choice for this one. Pound, 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 0. If you don't have that as a choice, then you would go all the way down here to custom number format, and you would just type it in there. So pound, 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 0, and apply. And notice it gets rid of all of your dollar signs and commas. All right, so now we're ready to copy this into Desmos. So I'm going to select all of the numbers under Rotten Tomatoes and gross. Don't select anything extra. Copy that with Control-C and go into your Desmos, and on a clean line, Control-V, and it should give you a nice graph. Remember to label your axes. So going over to the wrench here, on your x-axis you have Rotten Tomato score, and on your y-axis you have gross. Okay. Now we need a line of best fit. So we know y equals mx plus b. What we're going to do is code that a little bit. So for the y, we need to use the y1, that is the header for this table. y1, then the tilde is on the top left of your keyboard, and then mx1 plus b. So you can see a nice picture of your line, and you can copy that picture by going to Share Graph and Export Image, and then just right click on the picture and copy it. Okay, and then we need also the M and the B. So these numbers are really big. I've got this for my M, 1.4052 times 10 to the 6. So remember, times 10 to the 6 means times a 1 with 6 zeros. So you could literally multiply that out. But what it means really is that this decimal is going to move to the right 6 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me past the 2, and then I need 2 zeros. And then this one is times 10 to the 7th, so this decimal is going to move 7 places. So let's go back and actually see if we can find the slide that I made for this. Okay, so here is my M and my B. All right, and this is a little bit different because actually my movie was in 2009 and I'm actually looking at the data now for 2010. But you get the idea. So you're going to write an equation y equals mx plus b using your m number for m and your b number for b. Let's look back at my sample. So you can also get the r and the r squared from Desmos. And that's going to tell you the r, if it's positive, you have a positive correlation, and if the r squared is negative, then you have negative correlation. Sorry, the r is the r for both of those. R is positive, positive correlation, r is negative, you have a negative correlation, but the r squared tells you about the strength. So if you go back into Unit 4 or into the review notes for Unit 4, you find this table, strength of correlation based on the r squared. My r squared is 0, so no correlation, but you can find your correlation from this table right here. And let's go back and see what we're missing. So it would have been positive, but there was no correlation, and the regression line does not fit the data. And you can see that looking at it. It does not look like that data lines up very well.